Hey everybody, it's me, MTG Orzo. You might remember me from such exciting videos as I'm a huge piece of shit. Get off my YouTube screen and please fuck my face. I haven't made a video in a while, in a long time, and probably going on several months now. But now I'm back, bitches. So let's do this. I've made a couple new decks because I've forgotten how to play Magic. So we're gonna take a look at one today. And if you've read the video title, then this is already spoiled for you. But if you haven't somehow, if this was on autoplay for you, here we go. We're playing, if Moto decides to load, we're playing Sigarda, Heron's Grace, the new legendary from whatever the fuck it's called, Shadows of Innistrad. Alright, so before I go into this whole deck list, you guys, I just wanted to kind of apologize for dropping off the face of the earth like I did. I'm no longer living in China, as you can probably tell by the lack of honking horns in the background, and the fact that this video is going to go up at a reasonable time for people in America. It was a great time, I loved it, but got to the point where there was just too much disagreements going on between me and the rest of the staff. The Chinese staff, we had a problem with payment, and that's the gist of it. But over the summer I worked in a place that had very scant internet, so I was not able to play Moto. So I haven't played Magic in a while. I've been playing the last couple days, trying to get up to it. Oh, I'm in my new apartment, by the way. So I'm not recording this on a like countertop in McDonald's. So I missed the entirety of Shadows over Innistrad, which sucks because I really like Innistrad. It's like it was probably my favorite set of all time. I started in New Phyrexia, M12, that little area, so Innistrad was like the first set I got to fully experience. But I popped back in the other day, and apparently it's the day that whatever it's called, Eldritch Moon came out. So this is a guy from Eldritch Moon. So I get to play with some of those new cards. That's pretty fun. I'm going to go over the deck list. You guys know how this works. I apologize if I've forgotten anything about Magic. From what I've seen, though, Magic Online's client's not completely busted to shit anymore, so I can actually play it without killing myself. Lands. Alright, well, let's talk about Sigarda. So Sigarda here in Heron's Grace is the human commander that I always wanted. She's not human, so it's a little bit of a weird sentence, but she is human tribal. So me and humans I control have hexproof, and I can pay to exile something from my graveyard to put a human soldier token into play. So this is human tribal. Humans don't have a lot of generals. What's her name? She's from Legends, and she got reprinted in Time Spiral. She's a Jasmine Boreal. This is always my general when I'm thinking of like making this deck. This is a 5-mana 4/5 that doesn't do anything. But now we have this card, and this card does things. It's not nearly as busted as the original Sigarda, as evidenced by the fact that it was 60 cents when I bought her, and Sigarda is like 10. But yeah, this is human tribal. Let's go over it. Lands are all boring. Fortify Village is a new land from Shadows over Innistrad. They're kind of cool. They're like a turn 1 check land, I guess. Like, if you don't know what a check land is, what's this one? Sun Petal Grove is a check land. Sun Petal Grove. Yeah, so if you have a forest or a plains on the battlefield, this comes into play untapped, and if you have one in your hand... Oh, sorry, my watch went off. Fortified Village comes into play untapped. Anything else cool? Maze of Ith dropped down to like $1, thanks Eternal Masters. So that's just going to go in every one of my decks now. Anything cool? No. Nothing cool. Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, not going to talk about those. Finally picked up an Enlightened Tutor. Also thank you Eternal Masters, which brought this down to a reasonable $3 instead of like the $9 it was before. Mom, she's a cool lady. Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshares. Removal. Steel Shaver's Gift is just some good equipment tutoring. We have a couple equipment in here, like Greaves, Warhammer, Sledge, Jite. I had the swords in here, but I cut them out because I have another deck that I'm going to play soon that has all the swords, and I didn't want it to be too samey. It also meant that I could like take out Stoneforge Mystic, which is a core, not a human, so it didn't really fit in the theme. So we got good enough equipment that's not swords. Absence Pilgrim, Manador, Ulanwald Tracker, human. Ulanwald Tracker, a human, makes dudes fight dudes, which is cool. There's more removal. He's got a sweet bear in his picture. Worldly Tutor, get a dude. 2 mana, Imposing Sovereign, just a cool human. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Relic Seeker is our what's it called? Stoneforge Mystic. XP has Renown. When it deals combat damage, put a 1/1 counter on it, becomes Renowned. When it becomes Renowned, get an equipment. Cool beans. Dahlia's Lieutenant, new card from Shadows over Innistrad, enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each human, other human rather, so it doesn't become a bear, because I guess that would have been too good, and whenever another human enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. So it's just a little bump, and it gets bigger if it sticks around. Deranged Outcast, I don't know why I had a foil of these hanging around. I did not buy this. You sacrifice a human, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. Kind of a little dark sub-theme to this deck. What was this set? Set after Innistrad, Dark Ascension was also a cool set. Absent Restored kind of sucked, but Dark Ascension was pretty cool. Dark Ascension was the first pre-release I ever went to. I went 0-3 with my blue-black zombie deck. That was fun. You learned something new about me today. Farseek, Land Search, Hamlet Captain. Alright, Hamlet Captain is one of my favorite cards of all time that I never get to play with. Look how fucking cool he is. He looks like a pirate. But he's a big reason. Like, he's not even a proper lord, but he's still super cool. Speaking of proper lords, we have Maero Albabrook. So I know we got some, Planeswalkers and legendary werewolves. I'm not playing with werewolves, I'm playing with humans. So this is a human advisor, but also a werewolf. I guess he makes dudes that aren't humans, but he is a human lord. Sylvan Library, Hand Filtering, 3 visits. It's another ramp. It's got humans on the picture. Oh, excuse me. I gotta get used to drinking American beer after this Chinese nonsense. Oop, that's my phone being real loud. Drinking PBR right now. It's 4 in the afternoon. Whatever. I don't have class for like 2 weeks. Safi, Eric's daughter, gets stuff back. No real shenanigans with her. She's just a bear that can get something back. Greaves, we talked about. Signet Ramp, Jite, best equipment ever printed. There's that from the vault that's coming out, or it has already come out. I don't know. I didn't follow any news while I was, working over the summer. But I saw it yesterday that it's getting reprinted. I don't even know what the name of the From the Vault is. 3 mana Bastion Protector, cool chick from C15. Creatures that are commanders that you control get +2/+2 and have indestructible. Makes Sigarda bigger, harder to kill. Mentor of the Meek, card draw with our little nerds. Thalia, the new Thalia from Eldritch Moon. First strike, creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, which is really cool because I don't know how Magic has like a fucking socioeconomic tax break calculator, or tax bracket rather, calculator that puts you into games with people who have spent a similar amount of money. But I'm getting loaded with guys who have spent a dick load of money on Magic. And I've spent a lot of money on Magic. Like I've got most of the staples for every color, like kind of a force of will, but I've put a pretty penny into Moto, so like I'm not curb stomping people like I was sometime in the middle of last year. I got bumped up and now everyone is really good, so my games are a little more like give and take now, which is pretty cool. I've had to adapt. It sucks coming back to the game and having to do that, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on and I'm gonna autopilot on like Prime Speaker or Mizzix and I'm just gonna win, and that didn't happen. So I don't know if I got worse or everyone else got better. But let's continue. Banisher Priest gets rid of dudes. Council's Judgment gets rid of really anything. Probably the best piece of removal in the game, because you vote and you don't target. So thanks for voting. Solar Blade Paladin. Cool knight guy, gives guys a double strike, carries equipment well. Elder of Laurels, another really cool card, cool art. It's Absinthe symbol in his hand, if you didn't notice that. If you have a bunch of guys and a bunch of mana, you can make a bunch of things really powerful. That is one of the worst descriptions of anything I've heard in a while. Champion of Lamholt, you know what she does. If your deck is green and tiny dudes, Champion goes in there. Eternal Witness, you similarly know what she does. If your deck is green and has creatures, you should probably run Eternal Witness. Or I'm going to amend this and say, if your deck is green and you run cards, you should probably run Eternal Witness. Behemoth Sledge, just a cool equipment, because it's colored. Colored equipment is cool. Knight of the Reliquary, now that we have a Maze of Ith, I went out and got a Knight of the Reliquary, because it's a free tutor for it. And we've got another land that interacts cool with Knight of the Reliquary. So if you don't know what she does, she gets +1/+1 for each land card in your graveyard. You can tap her, sacrifice a forest or plains, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield. So her ability makes her stronger by the virtue of sacking lands, and then you get a tutor stuff, and you can also like tap the land, make mana, sack it, and get an untapped land, tap it. So it's also like mana acceleration, but there's another land that I own because I think it's really cool, but can never use. Yeah, Riftstone Portal. So as long as it's in my graveyard, my lands tap for a green or a white. Now I don't know if you know this, but this deck is green and white and has a way to put lands into the graveyard, so that's nifty. Laxstone Warhammer, triple lifelink. Alright, so now up into our 4-drop slot, we have a Johnny Steadfast. First Planeswalker. He gives things stronger, puts 1/1 counters on creatures and loyalty counters on Planeswalkers, and an emblem that says you win the game. Johnny Goldman gains 2 life. A -1 puts a bunch of puts 1 counter on a bunch of things, and an ultimate that says you don't win the game because they just path your dude. Elspeth puts soldiers into play, something gets bigger, and an emblem that says you go a long way to winning the game. Hero Bladehold, just a great human with cool art. I like Austin Sue's art, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm assuming it's Sue. Return to Dust, great for getting rid of things. I played a game with this earlier where a guy led, so I went plain Soul Ring, and on turn 2 he had 2 artifact lands out, and so I returned to Dust his lands, and he sent me a bunch of angry messages on Moto, so that was fun. Riders of Gavany, just a completely unplayed card, but Vigilance, when it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Humans get protection from that creature type, so really cool against tribal and stuff like that. Also good if you need to just like hold back one thing. Wrath of God, good old Wog, kills things. Master of the Wild Hunt, one of my favorite green cards. He makes a bunch of wolves and hits things with them. And he's a human too. He's got cool little antlers and a rad beard. Surrak is also a human. formidable beginning of combat. Ah, shit. If you have power 8 or greater or whatever the fuck, target creature gets haste. I don't know, I'm not in love with the ability. It's probably better than Riders of Gavany. Heron's Grace Champion. Flash lifelink, enters the battlefield, other humans get 1/1, and lifelink until end of turn. Good for alpha swings, good on blocks that they think they're going to win. This is a cool card. I like it. 3/3 for 4 is pretty cool. Now we're going to get into our sub-theme, which is angels, because Sigarda is an angel. Holy shit, you guys. So we got Baneslayer Angel, because it does angel things. It's probably the best 5-mana angel. I don't know about... Is that new Avacyn, like 5 mana? I remember seeing spoilers for her before I left China. And she's also $20, the new Avacyn, so she must be okay. Gideon Jura does Gideon things. He's also a human. Herald of War is an angel that makes your humans cheaper and angels cheaper. And it gets stronger whenever it attacks, so she's a cool girl. Cool chick. Karmic Guide is an angel that brings our humans back. Thalia's Lancer. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, put it in your hand, which is a cool card from Eldritch Moon. Gets some... doesn't get a lot. Gets like Kamal and Thalia. Safi, Surok. Okay, it gets enough to justify running it. It's also a 5-mana 4/4 first strike, so it does things. This deck is not a tier 1 deck, if you can imagine that. If you guys want to see some like tier 1 1v1s, I've got that stuff coming up. Or you can just rewatch my Mythics, which is super fun and awesome, and you should watch those videos. Don't watch the Arjun ones, just watch the Mythic ones. Those are okay. Johnny, Mentor of Heroes. Make your guys stronger. Look for shit. Irrelevant. Ultimate. Junior Forward Ranger is like the proto Cathar's Crusade, so it gets bigger and makes your things bigger when stuff enters. Mirari's Wake. Anthem that doubles your mana. It's a cool card. One of my favorite multicolored cards. And Coat of Arms. Because D. Alexander Gregory is a great artist, and I wish I had this in black border because this art is cool. And this card is cool, and you know what this card does. Shut up. Alright, coming over to our big shit move. Aegis Angel. One of my favorite cards when I first started playing. Oh, excuse me. When it enters the battlefield, target permanent gains indestructible for as long as you control Aegis Angel. Cool flavor, cool art. Austere Command, good Wrath. Elspeth Sun's Champion, good Planeswalker. Does things, makes dudes, destroys dudes. Has an emblem that goes a long way to winning the game. Actually has one of the more achievable ultimates I've found. Making 3 dudes with your plus goes a long way to keeping something alive. We just remember Sunblast Angel, destroy all tapped creatures. Also a really cool card, really fun card. And hey, you get a 4/5. Just don't play it post combat on your turn. You'll get blown out. I warned you. Kamal, Fist of Krosa, a human with overrun on a stick and an irrelevant other ability. Because then I run like Elish Norn or something like that. I guess like if I had a bunch of mana and a Wrath God, I could blow somebody out with Kamal, but Magical Christmas Land. Cool new card I'm trying out called Seasons Past from Shadows over Innistrad. 6 mana, like incremental regrowth. You grab anything, any number of cards with different converted mana costs, from 0, I guess, all the way up to 8 in my case. Angel of Glory, just a really cool card in this deck. It's an angel and it brings back all my humans from the graveyard. It also exiles all zombies. So that's the blowout we're gonna be waiting for in this deck, is to blow out the zombie deck with Angel of Glory's Rise. And then they can like blow us out with Zombie Apocalypse, and it'll be this cool flavor, like explosion. We got Emiria Shepherd, that one, that angel, that that one, that angel for Battle for Zendikar. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you regrowth a non-land. But if the land is a plains, you may return that non-land permanent card to the battlefield, which is cool. And Avacyn, Angel of Hope. You know what she does. She has a bunch of keywords and makes other things keyworded. So that's the deck. I'm gonna run it through some games. You guys know the drill. I'm just happy. I'm so happy to be back, you guys. I'm so happy to be back playing Magic. I will see you guys in the first